It's your girl Candy. It's 10 to 4 in the morning, and I'm just up already awake. Today is Saturday, August 22nd, and I still have a moth that's joining me. I'll show you the moth. Can you see the moth? This is joining me. See him? I don't know if you can see him that well. But anyways, I thought I'd get into my book with you. In the Spirit of the Earth. I tried to do some reading in the front, but there was too much, traffic. And it was so loud, the congestion of the city is all out front in the building. But we can dive right back into the book. So, we're on part 5 of chapter 3, and we're making good progress. We're on page 62, and there is 152 pages in the book. Are we going to finish the whole thing? I don't know! It's a long book, so we're going to dive back in and see how far we can go. Okay. Yet all of this is strictly theory. My aim is not to recapitulate theory, but to look instead for certain key signs of a transformed oral and manual discourse with the earth. With that in view, we might consider an interesting feature common to perhaps all of these emerging Neolithic civilizations. The idea that the gods either once and for all or periodically created cosmos, order, out of chaos, disorder. The usual scenario begins with coherent, humanly congenial universe summoned into being by the benevolent creator God, who for some obscure reason now permits his new creation to be tempered, regenerated by strife. Thus, great good equals cosmos and great evil equals chaos become locked in titanic combat. Allied with the forces of good in the worldly, mortal plane of this conflict are the chosen people, hurling their mandate, their trajectory, in truth, their history, against the agents of evil, error, and folly. The awesome task of maintaining the integrity of creation becomes the special duty and indeed raison d'etre of the priest-kings and their heirs. In such fashion is history, which was given birth by the God and charged to the privileged people, played out chiefly through the vigilance and initiative of subordinate leaders who become personally accountable for keeping sacred time moving. The Judeo-Christian cosmology follows roughly this pattern, where the Creator God Jehovah conjured into being the universe and this earth, and at a hallowed spot upon this earth, a paradisiacal home for man and women. Adam and Eve sinned, however, were expelled from the garden by the angry and disappointed deity and forbidden re-entry. The life thenceforth for all the humankind was pronounced a struggle. When vexed yet again, Jehovah destroyed earthly life by sending a global deluge. Only one man, Noah, and his family were deemed virtuous, and one pair of each species survived the catastrophe. A cleansing, really. In time, the offspring of Abraham, the children of Israel, Hebrews, were launched on their special history to establish themselves as a large and prosperous nation in the Promised Land. They were Jehovah's people, and their wars of conquest against resident and neighboring peoples were pronounced holy. As this sacred chronicle continued to unfold, Christ appeared at a unique, unrepeatable point in time, declaring himself the Son of God and introducing a new paradigm. Salvation through faith in him, as opposed to salvation through good works and animal sacrifice. Jesus Christ achieved this through his own sacrificial death. The voluntary, brutal, and humiliating death of the God, giving this sacred history a new twist. From here on, the symbolic blood sacrifice of animals under the old dispensation, Old Covenant, was replaced by the once and for all blood sacrifice of the Redeemer, which Christians, as Christ followers were soon to be called, would celebrate through the rite of communion. Christ exhorted his followers, "Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." Mark 16:15. The good news that to be saved from eternal damnation and present folly and despair, one must believe in the cleansing and regenerating power of the Redeemer's death and live one's life now as a disciple. With this, Christ's followers also become a people with a mission, to convert the pagan and the infidel, having accomplished his driven errand. Christ left this world for his heavenly home, promising to return when the time was ripe to establish his kingdom on earth. In the 2,000 years since the Epiphany, Christians have been exemplary as a missionary people to convert the non-believer wherever he or she may be, so to hasten Christ's return. Studying the Bible, Christians have believed that at some point in the near future, the time of human sovereignty will come to a chaotic yet divinely orchestrated end in a series of events known collectively as the Apocalypse, culminating in the dread battle of Armageddon. Sometime in here, Christ is expected to return from the heavens and establish his 1,000-year reign of peace, the millennium. When that is done, this world will have served its purpose and God will then destroy it. And with it, history itself will go up in smoke. From then on, all will be eternity. The saved will go to be with God in glory. The damned gnash their teeth in the unquenchable furnaces of hell. This is the broad contour of Christian history. The Jews, of course, dismiss Christ as an impostor and still await their true Messiah. There is much that could be said, and has been said, about the development of each of these stages of the Judeo-Christian historical trajectory, but it is not the concern to me here. I am interested only in the large brushstrokes as seen from our vantage point in time, particularly the following key issues: mankind's lot in life being one of constant struggle, Jews and Christians as a people with a mission, history being punctuated by episodes of violent destruction, the death of the God changing the terms of history, the God's blood as symbolic as our salvation, Christians reminding themselves of their redemption and mission by drinking the God's blood and eating his flesh, Holy Communion, Christians hastening the end through their proselytizing proselytization to end human history and inaugurate eternity, mankind influencing time, in the case collapsing it. Christians as a conquest society with a noble goal. Around the turn of the 19th century, there was added to this sacred view of history a secular scientific model with some interesting parallels and divergences. I refer to the 19th century Western civilization, of course, and I am thinking of the evolutionary view of Darwin and Wallace and their immediate antecedents. The evolutionists saw the development of biological life as a linear branching process, species always seeking to adapt themselves to their environment, which itself has changed dramatically, often catastrophically, over the many years, several billion we now know, of its existence. There was thus built into this budding awareness of evolutionary biology a deepening appreciation of geological flux. Notice that under this later model of history, humanity has lost its noble, exalted mission. Homo sapiens is regarded more as an animal possessing culture. Under the new scientific view, we contemplate the possibility of our own species' existence through some blunder of our own devising or our failure to adapt successfully to some natural disaster quite out of our hands, such as this planet being struck by a huge asteroid, as has happened on a number of occasions in Earth's past. Ultimately, we are assured by astrophysicists our sun star will burn out, blowed into a red giant, slowly, silently blow-torching the Earth's surface to a cinder and effectively extinguishing all biological life, and then collapse into a dwarf star of enormous mass and gravity. This final prediction perhaps gives his history, both cosmic history and human history, a sense of nihilism, of futility. Since such cosmic destruction appears inevitable, there being no way mankind can influence its course. Under the scientific view, the world retains its geology, violent past, and projected future, while moreover biological life manages to dance its way through all of this change and mayhem, shifting shape and habits to cope with new circumstances. With all the human animal, Homo has come to be regarded as but one such plastic creature within this large kaleidoscope of life. Mankind being set apart perhaps by a dazzling ability to fabricate what we like to call, again, culture, and yet Homo, that artful, adaptable creature of the magic flight, might snuff itself out through ideological fanaticism armed with technological tinkering. Failing that, the death of our nuclear fireball, the sun, will cook the genome of all earthly biological life for good. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna stop there. That was deep, okay? That was deep. Alright. So, enjoy. It's 4:05 now. Enjoy your morning and stay blessed, okay? Stay blessed.